Here we are in 2025 right now, and maybe you're a lot like Abby, and you're like, well, 2024 when it came to dating sucked, just like 2023 and 2022 and 2021.
And don't forget about 2020.
Yeah, 2020 was another
Actually,
one.
2020 was a good year. 2019 was pretty good too, but 2018, that was a rough
How
year.
could 2020 be a good dating year when it was a pandemic?
People were bored and on their phones. They had nothing better to do than to talk to me.
So maybe you're taking a look at your dating profile now because you got to change things. If it's not working, right? Don't you have to change things?
Yeah, that's what people tell me, but I'm perfect, so why would I change?
Right, and it's gotten you very successful when it comes to dating.
Things are working out.
So we're bringing in our dating expert, Nelly Sudri. She's got a podcast on the Pioneer Podcasting Network called High Value Dating. So if you're taking a look at dating in 2025 and it starts with all the dating apps, where do you even start? Hey, Nelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
Fabulous.
Okay.
Great to be back with you all.
Good to have you on. All right. So before we even get into the adjustments that you should make to your profile, what are like the 3 biggest mistakes, do you think, that people make on their profiles? And can they be separated by gender?
On their dating app profiles, yeah, it's interesting. Hinge actually came out with a study, I think it was a couple of years ago, and some of the photos that perform the worst on dating apps might actually shock you. One of them being beach photos. Maybe that has something to do with like holding a beer. Maybe, if you're not in the best shape, maybe that's why. I'm not sure. But beach photos do not perform well. Secondly, photos where every single photo on your profile, if you are in a crowd or you are in a group and someone can't pinpoint who you are, it's not going to do that well. And another photo that doesn't do that well either is, for men, if you're smiling with your teeth and you're looking directly at the camera, not sure why, but those tend to not do as well. They recommend looking away or having your smile but not showing teeth.
Really?
I think because when you're smiling with teeth as a guy, I mean, there are a lot of guys with great smiles, but maybe it just comes across less assertive and stoic. I imagine that's probably why. And then for women, it's actually the opposite. Smiling with your teeth and looking a little more candid, maybe like brushing your hair as you look into the distance, that tends to do better than if you have no teeth showing, probably because it makes you look more approachable and feminine. I'm not sure, but yeah, those are some interesting stats.
Have you, your thoughts on that? Guys' teeth and smiling.
I know what she's talking about, and I can understand how a girl, maybe her knee-jerk reaction would see that, and maybe subconsciously she's thinking, oh, that feels a little feminine, not saying that smiling is feminine, but I know what you mean by saying that when women really love an attractive masculine man, if he seems a little bit more stoic, that's kind of the energy that it gives off. Rather, if you're too happy, sometimes it can seem a little bit too, it doesn't seem as masculine as the opposite.
Totally. Another photo that doesn't tend to do well on dating apps is photos with sunglasses on. People want to see your face. They want to see your eyes. Kind of feels like sometimes you're covering your face. I have audited thousands of dating app profiles over the years. I consult for dating apps, and I have seen so many ladies, especially, where every single picture they have their sunglasses on. And admittedly, I'm one of those people who I love having my glasses on, and so I naturally just have a lot of photos with them on. But if you're trying to attract a guy, they want to see your face, and vice versa, right? Women want to see your face too, guys. So yeah.
All right. So what should they change in their profiles besides their pictures if they were going to like completely overhaul, because it hasn't worked last year and we're doing the same things over and over and over again? What are the things you suggest outside of pictures to change?
Well, so the thing is, dating apps are visual platforms. So it's hard to have a conversation about your profile without the photos, because the photos do play such a significant role. And so I am happy to share some tips that will enhance your match rate. But I will say, just as a general piece of advice to anyone really trying to get out of the dating game this year, I implore you to look into getting professional photos, because it really makes a world of a difference. Outside of that, though, dating apps offer filters a lot of the times. Use them. If you have religious preferences, use the filters to screen for that. If you have height preferences, and I don't recommend being, crazy with the height preferences, because you could overlook a great guy. But, if you, like, I have my best friend, she's 6 feet tall. Use the height preferences if you want to be able to wear heels around a guy, or the age preferences. Really use those filters strategically. Also, for women in particular, I see so many women trying to date younger guys and looking for marriage. And it's not that you can't have that, but I think, as far as, my experience being a matchmaker goes, I think you'll have a lot more leverage if you add 10 to 15 years on your age range as a woman. And as a guy, again, like, a lot of men are super visual when they're on the apps, but try to screen for compatibility. Look at the actual profile, look at the bio, and really make sure that you are being somewhat discerning about who you swipe on.
I'm so glad I'm not out there, because most of the things you're saying, I just assumed just the opposite. Like, we've heard for so many years that guys in toxic masculinity, women are looking for somebody that's in touch with their feelings. But then you come on and you're talking about the smile and looking stoic. And then you talk about professional pictures also, and filters. And to me, if I was looking for a woman, that's like the last thing I would be looking for. I'd be looking for something more authentic. But this field better than I do.
Well, she's not saying filters on the face. She's saying the filters in the app, as far as like, what age range you want, what religion you want, smoker, non-smoker, stuff like that.
Were you talking about the pictures also, or those kind of filters?
No, those kinds of filters.
Okay.
And actually, thank you for bringing that up, Kristen, because you absolutely want to avoid using filters. I have heard too many horror stories from my male clients, matchmaking clients, who will meet someone on a dating app and they feel catfished, and she shows up and she looks nothing like her photos because she has a Snapchat filter on, or Face app. Ladies, you got to stop with the Face app and Facetune. If you want to, like, conceal a zit, that's one thing. But if you are literally transforming I don't know if you guys have used these apps, they're crazy. It's false advertising, and I think it's bad karma.
I will definitely say I think that is for sure a problem on the male sides of apps, because when I took over our listeners' dating app for Hinge, that was the one thing I noticed that I've never seen from the girl's perspective, is I feel like so many women are throwing these very obvious filters on, to where I'm like, I know you don't look like that in real life. Nobody walks around with an ethereal glow unless you're Jesus, which you're not. I'm assuming Helen from Cumming, Georgia. So I think that's something people need to be aware of, is that even though it's really scary to put your real self out on the internet, it's better to be upfront about who you are rather than give somebody a jump scare at the bar.
Absolutely. I mean, I got so many stories I could share. One of my new clients, just onboarded him for matchmaking. He was using a dating site, and he showed me his type, air quotations. He's like, look at this type of woman. This is what I'm looking for. Pulls up his screen, and I took one look at the girl. I said, that's not a human. That is an avatar. That is a face app, face tuned person. I said, have you ever met her? No, I haven't. I said, have you been sending her money? Yeah.
Shut up.
He goes, I'm in love with her. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude.
Yeah.
No. So let's get really crazy here, Nelly. Really crazy. And if you're just tuning in, Nelly has a great podcast called High Value Dating with Nelly Sudri on all podcasting platforms. So let's say you want to do something crazy, and you want to meet people face to face, and you don't even want to use a dating app. How is that even done these days?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think so many people struggle to actually meet people in person because a lot of people are working from home. And, I live in Los Angeles, where pretty much everything's kind of been shut down the past few weeks. But one of those ways is by taking it upon yourself to cultivate a community of good friends. As an adult, sometimes it can be difficult to make friends, but be the person that strikes up a conversation at your workout class. Be the type of person that gets involved in philanthropy or charity, because you're going to meet so many people through that are like-minded and ideally share similar values. And then when you get more involved in your community that way, or you make friends, you are going to start getting invited to more things, and you'll start hearing about more things. And it takes time. It's not overnight. I've moved several times in my life, so I know how difficult this can be, but you have to take charge of your own journey and destiny to an extent by being the type of person who goes for what you want. Be the type of person who strikes up a friendship, ask and initiate, be like, hey, want to get coffee? Let's catch up. It'll take you a heck of a long way. And be also the type of person that other people want to be around, and it'll happen a lot quicker. Really the key to making and maintaining friendships is adding value, just like anything else in life. So that partly is like, are you presenting yourself in a way that other people would want to be around you? I mean, I know it sounds shallow and superficial, but that is kind of how humans are wired. And like, are you also interested in other people, right? Think about the people you don't usually want to hang around. They're the people who are self-absorbed. So add value, be curious, and then you'll find that opportunities gradually start falling in your lap. And then what you can do is you can say to a friend, even if your friend is married, hey, if you know anyone, by the way, set me up. And then you're going to start to facilitate more connections that way too.
Is that such a scary proposition for you, Abby? Just like not being on the dating app at all, but just trying to recruit people person to person.
No, I mean, you've seen me in the wild. You get me 2 tequila shots deep, and I'm going up to a group of frat boys being like, hi, I'm available.
You're great.
Yeah, pick me, choose me, love me, marry me.
This girl has no problem starting a conversation.
None, zero.
Yeah, and it's still not working out. So we need a third option. What's after if the in-person stuff doesn't work out?
Well, I would say dating is kind of like investing. Diversification is key. So I would never put or advise anyone to put all their eggs in one bucket, being dating apps or going out in person. You could enlist a matchmaker, you know, if you're looking for a certain caliber and certain quality. Like there are religious matchmakers, there are people who specialize in different age demos. So matchmaking is underrated. It's kind of a lost art. That's why I love what I do. One of the reasons. And so matchmaking is an option. Telling friends to set you up is another option. Seeking out hobbies that you genuinely are interested in and that align with the kind of life that you're trying to manifest for yourself is another great way to meet people. I mean, think about it too, ladies. Like there are so many, and I tell you this because 99% of my matchmaking clients are men, so many guys golfing on the weekends, skiing, doing active things. And I'll talk to my female coaching clients, say, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I went to brunch with the girls and then I went to Saks. Okay, you're not going to meet a guy at Saks or the nail salon. You have to go out and do hobbies that are going to put you in the right rooms and right environments. And you got to make sure that you're also coming correct. And the same goes for guys, right? They always say luck is where opportunity meets preparation. The preparation is you taking it upon yourself to put yourself in the right rooms and environments. The opportunity is making sure that when the right person does cross your path, you're emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically ready to seize the day. And then it's just a matter of, time. So
that's Nelly Sudri from High Value Dating.
Abby, I just had an aha moment. We need to go to an Atlanta Gladiators ice hockey game because there were so many young dudes there.
Wait, really?
Yes.
They were on the ice playing.
No, they were not.
They won't see you, but
I mean, I was in this little area for my kid's friend's 4th birthday party, but when you looked around the arena, there was like groups of dudes. And now that I think about it, there was a lot of groups of dudes your age, and they were cute sitting around the arena.
I'm there. I'm down.
high testosterone area.
Oh,
Yeah.
They love to fight on the ice, I hear.
Oh, they do.
love it. I mean, there's so many things, but here's the thing. I'll actually share a little quick story if I can. Yesterday, I was slammed after my work day. Didn't want to go out. I don't know about you guys, but it gets super dark here. And so when 7 o'clock hits, I can't get myself out of bed sometimes. Anyways, my girlfriend called me up. She said, we have this Kabbalah thing that we registered for. I said, I don't want to go. Like, why would I want to go? Well, I ended up taking it upon myself to go because she pushed me to. There were like 200 people there. That's an example of an environment where you could meet someone, right? Like, and I would never go to that, but I chose to get out of my house and do something new. So like part of it is also just taking risks, trying new things, pushing yourself, whatever you don't want to do. If you're listening, do that thing.
I love it. That's the most. It's the most LA thing you'll hear today. I went to a Kabbalah party last night.
Right? Sadly.
Thanks, Nelly. Again, check out the podcast. It's High Value Dating. Have a great day.
The Bert Show.